What if I told you that thousands of years ago people were eating foods that modern science is only now discovering are basically superfoods? Foods so powerful that they make your fancy multivitamin bottles look like a joke? Long before Big Pharma packaged health into pills and powders, ancient civilizations mentioned in the Bible were already consuming foods that healed the body, boosted energy, fought disease, and extended life. And today, we're diving deep into 10 of these ancient biblical foods that honestly outperform every modern supplement you can buy. Stick around till the end because the last one on this list is something you probably have in your kitchen right now and had no idea was this powerful. Number 1, olive oil. One of the most mentioned foods in the entire Bible. Olive oil comes from pressing ripe olives, and this practice goes back over 5,000 years to the Mediterranean region, especially areas like Israel, Greece, and Italy. In ancient times, olive oil wasn't just food, it was medicine. It was used for anointing kings, healing wounds, and even as fuel for lamps. What makes it so special is its rich content of monounsaturated fats and antioxidants called polyphenols, which modern research links to reduced inflammation, better heart health, and even improved brain function. Compare that to your average fish oil capsule sitting in a plastic bottle, and honestly, olive oil wins because it's whole, unprocessed, and your body absorbs it more naturally. A common misconception is that all olive oil is the same, but extra virgin olive oil, the least processed kind, retains the most nutrients, so always look for that label. The only precaution here is moderation, since it's still calorie dense, but as part of a daily diet, it's basically nature's gift wrapped in a bottle. Number 2, figs, a fruit that shows up again and again throughout biblical scripture. Figs originated in the Middle East and Western Asia, and have been cultivated for over 11,000 years, making them one of the oldest cultivated fruits in human history. They grow on fig trees which thrive in warm, dry climates like those found in ancient Israel. Figs are loaded with fibers of potassium, calcium, and antioxidants, and they were historically used to treat digestive issues, skin conditions, and even used as a natural sweetener before refined sugar existed. Compare this to modern fiber supplements, which are often synthetic and can cause bloating. Figs offer natural, gentle digestive support, along with a hit of real vitamins your body actually recognizes and uses efficiently. A fun fact is that figs were so valuable in ancient times, they were sometimes used as currency. Just be cautious if you have blood sugar concerns, since dried figs are quite sugar dense, so fresh figs are usually the better option for regular consumption. Number 3, honey, often called liquid gold in ancient texts. Honey is produced by bees collecting nectar from flowers, and it has origins tracing back tens of thousands of years, with ancient Israel literally described as a land flowing with milk and honey. Bees convert nectar through enzymatic processes into the thick, golden substance that never spoils if stored properly. Archaeologists have even found edible honey in Egyptian tombs thousands of years old. Honey contains natural antibacterial and antifungal properties, and it was historically used to treat wounds, sore throats, and digestive issues long before antibiotics existed. Compared to refined sugar or artificial sweeteners, raw honey offers antioxidants and enzymes your body can actually use, though people mistakenly think all honey is equal, when in reality, raw, unfiltered honey retains far more nutritional value than the processed stuff sitting on supermarket shelves. One precaution though, honey should never be given to infants under 1 year old due to botulism risk, but for adults, it remains one of nature's most powerful natural remedies. Number 4, pomegranates. A fruit deeply symbolic and frequently referenced in biblical writing, pomegranates originated in the region stretching from modern-day Iran to northern India, and were cultivated in ancient Israel for thousands of years. This fruit grows on small shrubs, thriving in semi-arid climate, and it's harvested by hand when the outer skin is deep red. What makes pomegranates so powerful is their incredibly high antioxidant content, actually higher than red wine or green tea, along with anti-inflammatory compounds that support heart health, and studies even suggest potential benefits for prostate health. Compared to antioxidant pills you find in stores, pomegranate seeds deliver those same compounds wrapped in fiber and natural juice, so your body absorbs them in a form it actually recognizes rather than an isolated synthetic. A lot of people think pomegranate concentrate is as good as eating the seeds directly, but the added sugars in most bottled juices cancel out a lot of the benefit, so the whole fruit is always the better choice. There isn't much risk here beyond the sugar content if you're diabetic, so moderation is the only real precaution. Number 5, dates, one of the most energy-dense foods mentioned throughout the Bible, and grown abundantly in the Middle East for over 6,000 years, especially around oases where date palms could access underground water in otherwise dry desert land. Dates are harvested when the fruit ripens and naturally dries on the tree, concentrating their sugars and nutrients into a small, chewy package. They're incredibly rich in potassium, magnesium, and natural fiber, and ancient travelers relied on them as a portable energy source during long desert journeys, almost like nature's original energy bar. Compared to processed energy bars loaded with artificial ingredients and preservatives, dates give you real, sustained energy, along with actual nutrients your muscles and brain can use. A common myth is that dates are just sugar with no benefit, but the fiber content actually slows sugar absorption, making the energy release more gradual than people assume. The only real precaution is portion control since they are calorie dense, but for natural energy, very few foods compare.
Number 6, barley, a grain that appears throughout the Bible as a staple food, and even used in some of its most well-known stories. Barley was one of the first domesticated grains, grown widely across the Fertile Crescent, the region covering parts of modern Iraq, Syria, and Israel, more than 10,000 years ago. It grows well in poorer soil conditions compared to wheat, which made it a reliable crop even during difficult growing seasons. Barley is packed with beta-glucan fiber, which modern studies show can help lower cholesterol and stabilize blood sugar levels, along with providing steady, slow-releasing energy. Compared to refined modern grains stripped of their fiber and nutrients, barley in its whole form offers far more sustained health benefits and doesn't spike blood sugar the way white bread or white rice does. Many people assume all grains are equally processed today, but whole barley, unlike heavily refined wheat flour, retains its nutritional integrity much better. If you have gluten sensitivity, barley does contain gluten, so that's worth noting. But for most people, it remains one of the most underrated health grains in existence. Number 7, lentils, a humble legume that's actually featured in one of the most famous stories in the Bible, where a whole birthright was traded for a bowl of lentil stew. Lentils have been cultivated in the Middle East for over 8,000 years and grow well in the region's dry, rocky soil, making them a dependable crop even in tough conditions. They're loaded with plant-based protein, iron, and fiber, making them one of the most complete plant foods available, historically relied upon by people who couldn't always afford meat. Compared to modern protein powders that are often heavily processed and stripped of natural fiber, lentils offer protein in its whole food form, alongside nutrients that support digestion and heart health simultaneously. A common misconception is that plant protein is somehow inferior to animal protein, but when combined with grains like barley or rice, lentils provide a complete amino acid profile just as effective for muscle repair and growth. There's really no major risk here aside from needing to properly cook them to avoid digestive discomfort, but overall lentils remain one of the most powerful, budget-friendly health foods in human history. Number 8, grapes and raisins, another food deeply woven into biblical history, especially through wine production, which dates back over 8,000 years in the region surrounding ancient Israel and Mesopotamia. Grapes grow on vines that thrive in warm, sunny climates, and when dried naturally under the sun, they become raisins, a method of preservation ancient people used to store fruit through winter months when fresh produce wasn't available. Grapes and raisins are rich in resveratrol, a powerful antioxidant linked to heart health and anti-aging benefits, along with providing natural energy through their fruit sugars. Compared to resveratrol supplements sold in capsule form, whole grapes deliver this antioxidant alongside fiber and other synergistic compounds that work better together than in isolation. Many people think raisins are just dried out empty calories, but they actually concentrate the nutrients from fresh grapes into a smaller, more nutrient-dense package. The only precaution is that raisins are sugar concentrated, so portion control matters, especially for those managing blood sugar levels. Number 9, almonds, a nut mentioned specifically in the Bible as one of the finest products of the land and native to the Middle East and parts of Central Asia, where they've been cultivated for thousands of years. Almond trees require a specific climate with cold winters and hot, dry summers, which made the region around ancient Israel perfectly suited for their growth. Almonds are rich in healthy fats, vitamin E, magnesium, and protein, and were historically valued not just as food, but also for their oil, which was used for skincare and medicinal purposes. Compared to modern vitamin E supplements, which are often synthetically produced, almonds provide this nutrient in its natural form, alongside healthy fats that actually help your body absorb it more effectively. A common myth is that all nuts are equally nutritious, but almonds specifically stand out for their calcium content, making them particularly valuable for bone health compared to many other nuts. The only real precaution is that they're calorie-dense, so a small handful daily is plenty to get the benefits without overdoing it. And of course, anyone with nut allergies should avoid them entirely. Number 10. Wheat, quite possibly the most foundational food mentioned throughout the entire Bible, referenced in relation to bread, offerings, and daily sustenance for ancient communities. Wheat was first domesticated in the Fertile Crescent around 10,000 years ago and became the backbone of agriculture throughout the ancient world, allowing communities to settle, grow, and build civilizations instead of remaining purely nomadic. In its whole, unrefined form, wheat contains fiber, B vitamins, and minerals like magnesium and selenium, offering sustained energy and digestive support that's completely lost once it's processed into white flour. Compared to the heavily refined wheat products found in most modern grocery stores, ancient whole wheat, ground using stone mills, retained far more nutrients and was digested much more slowly, preventing the blood sugar spike so common with modern bread. A big misconception today is that all wheat is unhealthy because of modern gluten sensitivities, but the issue often lies more with how heavily processed and hybridized modern wheat has become compared to the ancient varieties consumed thousands of years ago. For those without gluten intolerance, whole grain wheat in its least processed form remains a nutrient-dense staple that fueled entire civilizations for millennia. So there you have it, 10 ancient biblical foods that were quietly outperforming modern supplements long before science even had the tools to explain why they work so well. It really makes you think about how much wisdom existed in these ancient diets, doesn't it? If this video opened your eyes even a little, do me a favor and hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new here, and let me know in the comments which one of these foods surprised you the most. I'll see you in the next one. You've used 90% of your session limit.